All right. Well, what's up, everybody? Just want to hop on here and we're going to do a live training today on the digital track software and some different use cases on how you can use it to better minister to your church, but also reach people in your community. And if you don't know who we are, if this is your first time, watching one of our videos, my name is Dalton Grovenstein, and we operate GM Baptist Outreach. And this is Chase Kelly, by the way. He's our operations manager, just so everybody knows. But we operate GM Baptist Outreach. We work with over 250 churches all across the country and even around the world in 5 different continents. And so the stuff we're going to show you today is not something we just started doing last night, but we've been working with churches now for years. And so we just want to show you all some different use cases on ways you can use your digital track software to better reach people. So, with that being said, Chase, I'm going to pass it off to you to kind of open up and introduce what we're going to be doing today.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm pretty excited about today's training. This is something we get asked about quite a bit. So this is over how do we make forms? So forms inside of the side of the digital track software, and specifically how we can tie that to our automations. And we'll get a little bit nuanced there. We'll show how we can tie it into the automations that some people are building out for their advertisements that are connected to Facebook lead forms. So we can have a dual threat kind of thing. But basically, how to build the forms out, and then how we can build out QR codes to link directly to those forms, how to get the link from those forms, and then how to tie them back to automations. So, pretty excited about this today.
Perfect. Yeah. So creating forms is going to be a big one. And just real quick, while we're about to dive into actually how to create a form in your software account. But as far as use cases, just so everybody can understand some different use cases on why they would want to create a form in their software account. Number one, you can create forms for like registration. So like instead of you using a Google form or whatever you're doing now, you can actually create a nice customized branded form for like VBS registrations, registering for events, things like that. You can even create digital forms and use them as first-time visitor cards. If you want visitors to scan a QR code and actually fill out a digital visitor form where you have automated and text and email set up to the back end of it, you can do so. And then also just forms to put on your website and things of that nature to, prayer request forms, all kind of different things like that. So with that being said, let's dive in and kind of walk through creating a form in the software. So right here, we are in our church account here, and I want to open up an example. So this is the church where I pastor here at Eternal Life Baptist Church. If you open up, I just want to click on this tab. This is just a brief little form that we have made a while back to kind of, we're going to build this same exact kind of form out just for y'all on this, training. And it's going to look very similar to this. And so this form right here is literally, it's not a website page or anything. This is literally just a form we made in the form builder, and we just put like an image on the background. Obviously, you don't have to have an image, or you can add an image, completely up to you. But if you're in your software account, you're going to notice that there's going to be some pre-built forms that we already have in there for y'all. And there's going to be one right here called Plan Your Visit. So we're literally going to take one of the forms y'all already have in your software here and customize it and just show y'all how to customize it to use it for different use cases. So you're just going to click right on the form here. It'll open up the form builder. And whenever you're in the form builder, there's a lot of different options here on this left side. That's called form elements, where you can actually like grab and drop different things. So like if you wanted a button on your form, that's where you'd put your button. You could grab it from right here. The reason it didn't drop it is because we already have a button on our form. And so, but like let's say you wanted to come in here and collect someone's address, you can literally drop that, and it will have a area where they can fill out their address. And so these are different elements to gather people's information that are connected to the contacts area. But like if you wanted to put writing in your form somewhere in between a section, you can put some writing there, and you can edit the size of the writing, the color, all of that good stuff. And so I just wanted to kind of show you how that works. Now, if we're going to copy this form right here, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to put some writing at the top of it. So we're going to take this writing we just dropped there, and we're going to drag it to the top, and we're going to edit this. And so what we got here is plan your visit to Fall Fellowship Sunday at Eternal Life Baptist. We're going to edit this to plan your visit And also, just so everybody knows, this is actually a form that we're going to legitly use at our church for our Easter service coming up, like literally in a couple weeks. We're going to use this to put in some Facebook posts for people to be able to plan a visit from our just regular Facebook posts. And so we're legitimately going to use exactly what we're creating today. So plan your, let's see, let me check, double check. Yeah. All right. Plan your visit to Easter Sunday at Eternal Life Baptist Church. All right. So, boom. Now, obviously, I don't like the way this is all to the left, so we're going to center it. So, we're going to open this up, and if you come down here, you'll see text alignment. If you hit that, you can actually center this to the center there. And I kind of feel like even the font's a little bigger than what I want it to be. So you can change the font size to where the wording is smaller. You might have to highlight it since I didn't change it beforehand. Highlight it. You can change it where it's smaller. Well, that's way too small. That's way too small. Interesting. I'm not sure why what I did there, why it went to from like
Yeah,
super big to super small. Let's
I
see.
don't think it actually starts at 14, even though the 14 is what's highlighted. So it
Okay.
actually starts off bigger than that.
I was about to say I don't know if I'm going crazy or losing my mind or not. Let's make this up to about 26.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah, and then I'm going to kind of actually drop this down right there. That way it's kind of like at the bottom. So
Hmm.
plan your visit Easter Sunday at Eternal Life Baptist Church. So if you notice, if we click over this one, if you notice there's a background image on this one, and there is no white kind of box around the form. And so we're going to kind of do the same thing here because all forms kind of come with this white box here. But if you actually wanted to edit like the background of this, you can do so. Now, before I go edit the background, first I just want to show everybody, the actual fields of gathering the information. So, full name, phone number, email is already on there. Service time, we're not going to grab a specific service time, so we're going to exit that out. But when it comes to all this information on the left side, there's lots of pre-built elements to grab information. But let's say you wanted to have a question that is not on the form already, or it's not on the quick adds here. Then let's say you want to create a custom question like how many people are coming with you on that day, or anything else that you wanted to ask them. Is this first time hearing about your church? Things of that nature. So you can actually click on Add Object Fields here, and these are the different areas of the contact, general info, additional info. This is like the way they'll be sectioned in your contacts area. But let's say you wanted to add like a custom field. So we're just going to say, we're going to add a custom field for like how many people are coming with you on that day. So we're just going to do what would be best for this one, Chase? What you think? A numbers
We'll do a
box?
number. If you only expect them to just put a number, I would do the number. If you want them
Well,
to type some other stuff in, do a single line.
perfect. Well, I guess let's do, I'm trying to think, well, what if yeah, we'll just do a number for this one. If you wanted to do single line where they can like type in like me and my husband or something like that. Matter of fact, let's do single line just in case if
Hmm.
they do wanted to do
Yeah,
something
that's,
like
that's
that.
usually how they answer that question.
That is normally how they answer. Yep,
Yeah.
for sure. So single line, we'll click next. And then for the field name, we're going to do, how many are coming with you on that day? Question mark. So that's going to be the name of the field here. We're going to just keep it in the contact area. We can group it in contact or general info. And for the placeholder, we're just going to say how many are coming. Okay, so what the placeholder is, it's basically, the lightly worded in the middle of the box statement there. And so I'll show you what the placeholder looks like just a second. We'll click save. And boom, the field was added successfully. So now that field is added here in that contacts section here, since that's where we put it. And if you scroll down here, click more, you'll see it right here. How many are coming with you? So if we grab this and drag it over here, we drop it in there. Now notice, now they have this option to fill out this question. How many are coming with you? And notice there's that how many dot dot dot. That's that placeholder in there. So boom, we've got our question. We have our other fields that we're going to gather. And so now let's actually design the form. So if we click over here, we're going to kind of design it after this one because this kind of matches our church's branding, and we're legitly using this form for our church. So we also have a message box here for people wanting to leave a message. We might not do that on this one, but notice the button says save my seat and it's green. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop over here and edit our button. So we're going to click on this button, hit this little edit wheel on the button, and you can actually come in here and edit all the details of it. So like if we wanted to change the wording on it, we're going to say save my seat, exclamation mark there. And we're going to come down and we want this button to be aligned in the middle there. So we're going to click align text to the center. And then if we wanted to like make the text bigger, anything of that nature, we can. And then come down to where it says alignment. You know, if we wanted the form in the middle, we wanted the button in the middle of the form. Colors and background. So the background color of the button is black. I think we're going to add a new color. We're going to make this kind of like a greenish kind of color because that's kind of the branding of our church. Which, let's see, yeah, that was a little darker green, so that looks about good. All right, text font color, you can change the font colors if you wanted to. Border, so we're gonna have zero border. We don't want no border around the button. Padding, if you wanted padding inside the button to make it wider. Shadow, we don't need no shadow. Now, if we did want to click up here to border, notice how notice how these things are rounded. It's like a rounded button. If you wanted to adjust the corner radius here, you can make this button like a square. And so like we'll delete that 30 to 3 and it makes it kind of a square button. So we'll kind of have it as a square for this one. But if we just click back on it, so that's kind of how you'll edit your button and edit, different designs and stuff of it. So now let's hop over here and I want to look at this image again. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a background, like an image behind this form. Again, you don't have to put an image behind your form, but I just want to show y'all how to do some of this stuff. That way, if y'all want to design some nice, pretty customized forms, you can. And I also want to show you how to find this element builder here. So like if you was to exit this out and you can't find it no more, you're literally just going to hit this little plus sign and it'll open it back up. So that's how that works. So with that being said, and also here's how you can view your form. So like you have a desktop mode here where you can view it in desktop, or you can swap it to cell phone and see what it looks like in cell phone view, which I'm glad I did that because notice in cell phone view, this is kind of weird and I don't really like that. So let's see if we can look at this in cell phone view and change some things in it because I don't like how it's all jumbled up like that. Boom. Yeah, that's because I did the little, yeah. So plan your visit to Easter at Eternal Life Baptist Church. I do like that better in self and view. Maybe we'll make it a little, let's see if that affects anything. There we go. I like that better in self and view, and then it looks good in desktop view too. All right, awesome. Looks good. So now we want to add a actual background to this form. And so I also want to just show you as far as, well, I guess I'll show you that in a minute actually. So what you're going to do when it comes to adding like actual designing the form now, the actual form itself, you're going to hit these little dots over here. It says style and options. You're going to hit this, open that up. And once you open it up, you'll be able to see all the different functionalities of the form. If you wanted to look at this and swap this to cell phone view, you can do so from here as well. So now let's look at this form. So what we're going to do is first, this is the actual layout of the form if you wanted to show image or not on the form, but we're going to use we're not going to edit this too much. I just really want to show you how to do the image on the background. So if you come all the way down here, you can do paddings and layout. If you wanted to make your form columns bigger, make your form wider to go on a website, to cover more of the website, you can do that here, by editing the width of your form. But we're going to click on colors and backgrounds here. And so like notice the background of the form is white. So like, let's say we wanted to change that to black. You could change it to black, blue, make all kind of different colors if you wanted to. What we're probably going to do is we are going to open up that color editor and you can change the colors here. But what you can also do is grab this little right here. This is your transparency button. So you can adjust this to where the transparency is literally 0 and you can see straight through the form. There is no background on it. And we're going to click save. So we're going to have transparency set up for that. And then we're going to come down here and notice how it says background image. If we wanted to upload an image as a background image to this form, we can here. Now, I don't have that image that we use for this form saved, I don't think. Let's see if I can save this. I save an image. Is that an image? Let's see. Look, we're trying stuff up front. No, I don't think it does save as an image. Interesting. Okay. So if you wanted to upload a background image, you can do so here. Let's see if we can find like an image just for an example. Man, I should have saved that image, Chase. I don't know why I didn't save that image. Okay. We won't worry about an image. If you wanted to put an image on the background for it to look like this, you would do so there, do the image, and make that see-through. Since we don't have an image to use for this, we're just going to switch it back to white. All right, and then you can come down here to miscellaneous, and that's for if you wanted to put branding on it, like your church's logo and stuff that's saved in the settings there. So that's how you'll edit some of the different things on the form. Now, once you've edited your form, like colors, font or fields and stuff, and you're gathering all the information that you want, you can click on settings here, and this is on submit. So when you click on settings, this is basically the message after they submit that form. What is the next action after they submit the form? So you can either have it set up to where there's just a message that shows up like this. Once the form's submitted, it just says, thanks, you're all set, looking forward to seeing you, and you can edit that message here. Or you can have it redirect to like a website page. When they submit it, it takes them to like a website thank you page or something. And you can adjust those there. And if you wanted to customize this thank you here, you can change the color, size, and different stuff there. And if you wanted to get more advanced with like tracking and stuff, you could put Facebook pixels and stuff on this form. And then there's some like sticky contact and different features here. But you don't have to worry about any of those mainly. So that's how you'll set up your, thank you page there. And then you can also see your form submissions. Like if anybody ever submits this form, you can see all the details of who submitted it and stuff here. And so that's how you create the form. Now, once the form is created, then you need to be able to share this form to get the link for this form to share with your church or to post on your church's Facebook page, like on a Facebook post, or if you wanted to attach it to a QR code, which we're going to show you how to do that in just a second. But in order to share this thing, before you share it, you're going to want to click save at the top right above all, save everything you just made. But then you'll click integrate. And when you click integrate, there's all these different options for like having this on a website. So like if you wanted to integrate this onto your church website, if your church website's built in the software, this is a whole lot easier. But it will kind of show you where you can actually have the form show up, like pop up on the sides of your website or in the middle inline, all that stuff. And you can actually have it where after they scroll for a certain percentage of your website page, the form will pop up. There's all kind of different functionalities here. We're not going to go through all the details here though. But if you ever wanted to create a form and go embed it if you have a church website like on Wix or a completely different platform, which you can have a church website built in your software account, but if you don't have it in there, you can still use the form feature to create a form and then copy the embed code and go embed it on your church website. Therefore, when that form is submitted, it'll create the contact in your church's software account. But if we're not embedding it, we're going to click share and then you'll be able to grab this share link. This is a form link. You can actually copy this link and go paste it on a Facebook post where people can click on this link and fill out the form to plan a visit to your Easter service, things of that nature. And that's what we're going to be using this form for, is for that, for our Easter service. And that's kind of how we would do it. You would copy this link and go paste it on your Facebook page. And notice how the URL link for this form is basically a gray kind of label, branded domain. Now you can actually get this domain customized to where it's your church's URL that they see here for all of your forms that you share. You would do that in your software settings area. Just reach out to our team if you're interested in that, and we can make sure that happen. Show you how to do that. Or you can actually email this form and put it in like an email template. But we're just going to do share, and you would copy this and go share it with people. So that's how you create your form. Now, once your form is created, again, like we said, there's lots of different use cases you can do on creating a form, for different things that your church is doing. This is going to be a plan your visit form. So I'm going to kind of show you the use case of this form in particularly. There's two
Hey,
things we
while
can
we're
do
right
with
there,
it. We can go
Don,
go ahead.
can we show one more thing on that form that we didn't mention?
Yeah, let's see right here.
So imagine if on the how many are coming with you on that day. Imagine if you absolutely want to have that field filled out, like because you're planning for a specific event. Maybe you're planning for a meal and you want to know how many people you're feeding, for instance. Show them how to make that a required field versus a non-required field. Right now, it's not required to fill out.
For sure. Yeah, no, that's a great thing to add for sure. So if you notice on each of these fields, there's a little dot beside it. That means it's a required field. So like this form, it won't let them submit it without having these fields filled out. So this one isn't required. It don't have the dot. But if you was to click on this field, hit the little edit circle here, you can actually make this a required field right down here. It says required or hidden. We can actually click required and now it puts that little dot and it makes it to where this form won't submit without them filling out that information.
Mhm.
And if you ever wanted to do like unrequired one, you can do the same thing. You just check that to unrequire it. That's a good tidbit. Anything else, Chase, you think needs to be added to a form or explained to anybody?
No, I think that's pretty much it. This gets the gist of it. And as far as this goes, this is definitely going to help us on the next step of having someone plan their visit inside the automation. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll click save there. And so now that we've got our plan your visit kind of form created in the software, we're going to click go back here. And so now we want to add this form, to a automation. I just realized this that I didn't have our images, our videos up here. Hopefully they'll be able to see us in the recording. I didn't have it opened up. So that's going to be interesting. I guess we'll see. But with that being said, since we've already made it halfway through this video, we're going to go ahead and finish it. So now that we've got the form created, basically we can attach it to our QR code. That's a big question we get. Can we create, how do we attach a form to like a QR code that we want to put like on printed material? If we wanted to print like a track or like a physical flyer, you can attach it to a QR code in your software account. You can create the QR code, download it, all that. You can create unlimited QR codes. But in your left side where it says sites, you'll click on sites, and then at the very top right, you'll click on QR codes. And so in here, you'll notice we have a QR code here, but you can click create QR codes and you can name this, let's just say Easter Sunday. And then you can attach it to a website link or a view link, call, SMS, email, really all kind of different functionalities. But we're going to attach it to a form. And so then we're going to click next and we're going to choose the form. We're going to choose that form we just edited, which I think it's still named plan your visit there. And then we're just going to click next. And then you can customize the QR code if you want. And we're going to click, you can either download it right here if you want to without saving it. But we're going to click save. So now it's saved that QR code there. We can edit it or we can hit these three dots and literally click download. You can download this QR code as a PNG, a different, whatever file you want. PNG or SVG is probably what you'll use for images to be able to put on printed material like flyers, mailers, anything of that nature. But that's how you'll get your QR code to attach a form to it. Chase, do you have anything you want to add on the QR code piece?
No, I guess the only thing I would say is some people worry about, or we've had this question, if I make a change to the form, does the QR code change? No, it doesn't. So the QR code will remain the same because it's based on that link. So you can, now that you've captured the link and you have the QR code made, you can still go edit that form and add additional fields or remove questions or do whatever. It doesn't change anything as far as the link or as far as the QR code. That would still remain the same.
Perfect. Yep, that's a good question. Awesome. And so after you get your QR code made, your form made, and all that, then the next kind of step is okay, well, when this form is submitted, what happens? And so, if you definitely want to attach it to an automation that like will trigger a notification to go out to you and your team to notify y'all that someone submitted the form. But like for our case, here we're just having people plan a visit to our Easter service. So if you're already using the digital track ministry, the automation feature, you'll know we already have pre-built like special day event automation, reminders for special day events already made. So for ours, we're going to click in the plan to visit folder. Our church already has one going for Easter because we're running an ad for Easter right here. And so we're just going to literally click into our Easter special day event automation. And if you're using the software, then you know how to attach the Facebook forms as the trigger here. And what you're going to do is you're just going to add another trigger to add this form you just created to it. And so you're going to click add new trigger, and we're just going to type in the search bar form, and we're going to choose form submitted here. And we're going to do add filter because if you left it like this, every form that's submitted will go through this workflow. But we don't want that. We want it to be a specific form. When it's submitted, we'll go through this workflow. So we're going to do add filter and we're going to do form is, and then we're going to choose the form we just edited, which is plan your visit. So if you wanted to like name this form as like Easter or something, that way you know it's your Easter form, you can do so. So we're going to choose plan your visit there. And you could even have it whether you have multiple forms attached to the trigger. We're going to click Save Trigger there. And so now that form is set up as the trigger, and we're going to click Save. And so now every time that form is submitted, it will go through this workflow and it will trigger all these events. Now, if y'all are doing a completely different form for a different reason, you might have to build a workflow from scratch or something. I would definitely at least come and set up a internal notification just to notify y'all, and then you can set up like a text or email to go out if you wanted to. But I just want to show you how to do an internal notification if y'all needed one. Basically, when that form is submitted, you just hit this plus sign, which is the first one down if you started a workflow from scratch, and you can just type in the search bar just internal, yeah, and then it'll pull up send internal notification. You'll click on that, and basically you'll choose, you want it to send to you as a text message, is oftentimes the easiest. And then to user type, you can use all users, or you can choose a particular user in your church's software account, like the pastor or whoever's over this outreach or this objective of this ministry. You'll choose their name, and therefore, every time that form is submitted, it'll text and notify whoever is the staff member in the software account that wants to be notified. And then you can just say, someone submitted the Easter plan your visit form, or someone's registered for VBS, anything of that nature. And if you wanted to like drop down a couple and actually use custom values to put the information that was in the form in the text, that way y'all get a text message with all the information that was submitted on the form. You can also do that by clicking contact and then just do full name, drop down, do custom value, and it'll keep you saved on contact there. You can choose phone number, and if you then that's pretty much it. Then you can go to the software and actually look up their contact and see any other information they submitted on the form. Then you would just click save and then click save at the top. But we're not going to do that for this because we've already got a internal notification set up for this. But that's kind of how you'll do that. You'll create the form, and that's how you'll attach it to the automation. Chase, is there anything else on that automation piece connecting to the automation we should add?
Yeah, I mainly just wanted to add, like, some of you may think, well, so what is the main goal that we're solving here? A lot of questions that we get is when maybe you're running an ad from your software and you have the question, hey, people want to start sharing the ad. So you're not going to get the same benefit from sharing an ad because it doesn't come with the same lead form that will get them into the automation. So what you can do though is make a Facebook post with the same content, the same videos, and instead of having that the ad, you can have this form that we just made. And since that form does the same thing as what the ad does, they'll go through the same series of automations. So that's the missing link here is the fact that we're creating a just a Facebook post that can have a form. And then it can still go through the same series of automations as if they were to fill out that Facebook lead form that's paid advertisement.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, and that's like a huge question we get all the time.
Mm,
Is yeah, how can I share my Facebook post? I can't tell you how many times I get asked that all
mm.
yeah, and so you don't want to share your ad. You can't share your ad, but this is how you can easily make a post and share it for sure. Any other thing we can add to this?
I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to the automations piece of it. You can like we had a men's conference at church last weekend, and at the end of the conference, our call to action was to get men to sign up for groups, and so we popped a QR code on the screen, and we asked guys to sign up for whatever group they signed. We had like four different options, and based on which option they chose, we used the if then statement. And I know we didn't get that deep into it, but we sent that information down to different contacts. So we use an internal notification to send to different people based on group leaders so that they can go and reach out manually. So if you can think of it as far as information gathering standpoint from your church, then you could build it inside of the software.
Yeah. Absolutely. And also, just so everybody knows, like if y'all ever want custom builds for like anything, we do custom builds for churches. It does cost, like it'll be a small fee depending on whatever the custom build is. I mean, there's some stuff we'll go build for free if it's like super simple or if it's something just like, training purposes. But like, if you ever wanted us to build any custom automations y'all would like, if you reach out to us, let us know. Sometimes it'll cost a little bit. Sometimes a love offer, depending on what it is. But like for instance, we just built a big church camp registration,
Hmm.
process for a church in their software account to where like churches can register for their church camp, collect payment information, collect payments, all kind of stuff digitally through forms and different things. And so like yeah, huge build outs like that. Like we're about to build a big one for a Christian school for a
Hmm.
online, actually a nonprofit Christian curriculum is kind of what it is, a Christian curriculum. I don't even know if you'd call it a business or what, but it's basically we're going to build that all out in their church's account. So, anyway, it's really interesting stuff. So, sky's the limit. You want to add anything before we go?
No, I think that's it, man. I'm really excited about getting this out to everybody.
Perfect. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be posting a lot more trainings like this on different features and different things in the software. And if you have any thoughts on, hey, I'd like a training on this in your software account, drop a comment below with what you would like us to do trainings on, and we'll be glad to look through all of them and do trainings and stuff just specifically of what y'all want. So, anyways, all right. Well, Chase, I appreciate you hopping on with me.
All right, man. You have a good one.
Yep, y'all have a good one. Bye bye.